TV or video or where the hell it is. Girls, children. Don't eyeball me starting off the show. As usual, I have Malcolm Johnson with me. Malcolm, how's your day?
Man, it's going terrific. It's terrific.
Why's that?
You know, it's Voters Day. There's no rain. It's not cold.
Did you vote today?
Yes, sir. I voted.
I don't see a sticker.
I had one on, but my little boy, he saw my sticker. He wanted the sticker, so I'm very considerate of old people and children. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But then you got something in common with our guest.
What's that?
Socrates Garrett, welcome back to the show.
It's been a long time, Brent. It's good to be in the studio with you.
I hope you take the hint. It's been so long.
What hint is that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That you missed me and you wanted me back sooner?
No.
That's the hint
that you abused me and I got sick of it.
Oh, okay.
So let me tell you what he does when he's on my show. He literally asked me, he said, we're going to talk some politics and economics. And then he turns on live TV and says, Mr. Hazzard, speaking of all racists of all time, should black people be shot? And I'm like, what the hell? What? But I mean, I'm not going to do that to you today.
That's
Socrates.
okay. You can do whatever you like.
I'm going to be fair to you. I'm going to treat you with respect.
I know who you are. I know where you're from.
Ain't no doubt about that.
Okay, then. So
you can't take that off.
I understand you. I understand your DNA.
Ain't no doubt.
It's called white privilege.
Oh Lord.
I didn't mean to go there this quick. I'm so sorry, Brent.
I mean, we sitting in this big building with all these $1 million contracts someone's got.
There's some black privilege.
Okay. Hell. I think Socrates Garrett can have me shot here today.
No, don't do it.
But anyway, let's get into the number one topic. Mr. Johnson, give me your predictions. Let's start nationwide and work down. Senate, do the Democrats keep it?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
That's the wrong answer.
Yes.
Socrates, does the Democrats keep it?
Well, I think it's going to be at least a week before we know, based upon Pittsburgh. What's going to happen over there is going to be real critical.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody's going to know the outcome, not today or the rest of this week, quite frankly. I think it's a good chance that the Democrats are going to be able to pull it out if they can pull out Warnock over in Georgia against Herschel Walker, which is a joke.
Your hero.
No, not at all. Not at all. I thought he was a great athlete, though. By the way, he
was a phenomenal. You don't have to think that he was one of the greatest athletes at the SEC.
But certainly it does not present that he has the capacity to be a U.S. senator. So I think it's going to be a long night before we know the answer to that.
The correct answer is the Republicans win the Senate by, I'm going to say, 4 seats.
Wow.
Wow. You a Trump fan?
No. I know history, and I know when the president, who I'm a fan of, cannot go campaign anywhere but California, you're in trouble. And he's polling at 44% right now. And historically speaking, the White House loses the midterms. House.
Democrats.
House, Mr. Garrett?
I agree.
Y'all.
And Herschel Walker would lose, so.
That's Senate.
Oh, that's Senate. You're right. You're senator.
I mean, I know you're working the phones over here. But no, I mean, it's going to be a...
Do you think Herschel will win?
Yes.
You think he will win?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
He's an idiot, man. He paid for...
Whoa. So's half the people in D.C. Have you heard?
Yeah, Tuberville crazy.
Okay.
He was one of Trump's biggest supporters.
Okay. Well, one, that's a requirement to get in the Republican Party right now is support Trump. So the only Republicans I know not supporting Trump are Cheney and DeSantis because he's about to declare for president after he wins.
So you really think Herschel Walker will win?
Yes. I think it's just because people are sick of prices because inflation's too high and people just...
Man, do you know inflation's come from the last...
I understand everything.
What Trump done, now he's coming to light. What Obama done, Trump inherited. What Trump doing, Joe Biden inherited.
Okay, one, whether I agree with that or not, and that is logically
Yeah,
correct,
that's true.
it's about us shutting down because of a world pandemic.
Yeah.
Is someone building something in the studio? I mean, the room next to us.
Well, we always believe in working on the plane as we fly it.
I'm trying to get gold here, and I think we need to run into this. See if our producer's pass. You okay, Mr. Producer?
He's doing.
So, your prediction, let's go state, there's not any contested
Well, before you go to the state, if I might.
the House, I'm sorry.
The House. See, I think that Congressman Thompson, you just have to speak, to the power and the influence that he's demonstrating. I understand that he was in a hearing just this week with the governor of the state of Mississippi to talk about funds that were either appropriated or not appropriated to the city of Jackson. And for that U.S. congressman, the chairman of Homeland Security, the chairman of the committee, the January 6th committee, to be sitting in Jackson, Mississippi, just says volume about the power and the influence and the character of the U.S. Representative Benny Thompson.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can say a lot about Socrates Garrett. He's pompous. He's a narcissist. He's an ass. But did you see how he took that question about the election and steered it to contracts like that? That is genius right there, ladies and gentlemen. I could mention Mars, and this son of a gun would be like, you know what they need on Mars? Garbage. Garbage. And they need to hire Socrates Garrett for the Mars garbage pickup.
Look, Brent, it's always about the economy.
Always.
It's always about Socrates Garrett.
Well, no, it's about the economy and who's going to benefit from it.
So you just said why the Republicans will win tonight, because right now their pocketbook's hurting.
Well,
true or false?
Well, I think there have been some tax cuts that they didn't enjoy. I think that Biden had some programs that directly benefited the middle class.
The student loan forgiveness.
The student loan forgiveness, the PPP loans, all of the retention programs, all of the money that the governor sent back. He sent it down, the governor sent it back. And
once again, hang on, let me interrupt you because it's my show. You see that, Malcolm, how he said my governor because he's white and all white people know each other? You see how he said that?
I hear you.
That was classic. Once again, let me please remind the listeners and viewers, I don't have the governor's cell number in my phone. Somebody here does. Let's continue.
Well, yeah, I did get an invitation to his fundraiser, as well as the one to Haley Barber's birthday party, but he went and had a car accident, so that didn't happen. So, Brent.
What kind of car accident?
Well, I don't know. I don't assume that he was drinking and driving, Brent. I don't know what that little symbol means.
That means drinking. That means drinking a lot.
Say a Liz, brother.
See, Haley Barber in 1982 was interviewed by the New York Times and was drinking there. I come from a long history of alcoholics. I can spot one about 500 yards. If Mr. Barber would like to sue me, he can sue me in Hinds County Circuit Court, and we can have depositions on the issue.
And then you a countersuit, right?
Oh, brother. Once again, I can spot a functional alcoholic quite well. But anyway, go ahead. I hope he makes a full recovery. We don't want anybody to have a car wreck. But I
hope Haley's doing well. He was a governor that moved Mississippi from the local good old boy method of running the state into a more national organization. I don't agree with his policies, when he came to many things, but there are some things I recall that he did that was positive. He brought more money into Mississippi than any other governor ever has, even though he spent money that probably should have gone in poor communities on the port down in Biloxi. I think he did some things there that I disagree with, but
Haley was all about Haley, and you can't blame him if people kept on electing him into power.
Yeah, he's your homeboy, isn't he?
I don't. Once again, if we're keeping score at home, the redneck from Greenville, we don't like Haley because he forgot us, and his number's not my cell phone.
Yeah, well, anyway, I thought he was from your neck in the woods. So.
He's from Yazoo, and he started off begging for money in the Delta, and when he could stab us in the back, he put the knife in deep. And that's why I made a little comment about, I know how he likes to enjoy himself, I know Delta individuals quite well, but yes, you can. And if you disagree with that, let me throw out some names. Clark Reed voted for Bill Waller. Clark Reed is one of the founders of the Republican Party. Mike Retzer voted for Bill Waller, supported him. You don't get those people to cross lines like that against Tate Reeves when you're backed by Haley Barbour.
Well, I think the Reed family was always a family that tried to be fair as they possibly could. Was the old man named Jack or something
Clark.
like Clark?
Clark Reed.
And he ran for governor?
I don't know if he did or not. I just knew him because he was my neighbor.
Yeah. Anyway, that family always was real progressive, so I'm not surprised that they supported.
Well, when someone turns your back on you, you go with the other one. But anyway, moving on. State. We'll start with you, Mr. Garrett. State elections.
Well, my heart goes out to the African American that's running against the district attorney. What's his name, guy? I mean, the one that came out of Madison County.
Michael Guest.
Michael Guest. We got a black man that's running over there, Shane or something like the Shawaski.
Don't even know his name.
Well, you ought to know his name.
I'm saying you don't know his name.
Well, I do. It just came to mind.
It just came to
mind. Shawaski Young is running over there against Michael Guest. And I'm proud of him that he won the Democratic nomination, but, we just don't have a state that a black man has been able to win a seat.
Besides Benny.
Besides Benny, and
let's not forget that person.
Maybe that might change. Maybe there'll be an upset tonight.
Michael Guest is not losing in Rankin County in Madison, and I mean why I disagree with some fundamental issues Michael supports, like the border and all that. Michael, I worked with as a district attorney. He's very good people.
Wasn't he in trouble in the Republican?
Oh, no. It's shocking to me. I did not know this.
I think the Tea Party then went after him.
No, you know what?
Somebody.
Yeah, Ken Wade the conservatives went out. Not the conservatives. The radicals went after him.
Do you know the
stating that he voted with Benny on something?
No,
they did.
No,
he did.
No, he voted against January. He voted for the
January the 6th, and they made the radicals go crazy.
No,
Kim talking about that yesterday, man.
The two issues that really alienated him: supporting Ukraine, which caught me off guard because I thought those rednecks out there would be all about war. No, they were mad because they were sending money to Ukraine and not taking care of home. And then they were mad because he had not gone to the border and he's not supporting the border. And if you notice, right before the election, he had a mail out. Michael Guest goes and inspects the border. He's not dumb. But those were the two issues that gave him a lot of hell. The problem was the guy that was running against him had said some crazy things because he didn't think...
He wasn't even from here. I think he was from Virginia or somewhere.
Yeah. Well, the guy's running against Benny's not from here.
Yeah. Have you heard him talk?
I heard...
Man, the guy said if he win congressman, he going to come to the city of Jackson and fix the water problem. He going to clean the city up and he's going to hire more police. He going to be the damn mayor if he going to do all of that.
What else is he was supposed to say? But the problem is, in my opinion, the way I would attack Benny was saying, where's the $200 million in 2020? Where's all this federal funding before the election, before the water failed? The problem is he called Benny treasonous, and that didn't just... I mean, demographics, no Republican's going to beat a Democrat in that district, and vice versa in Congressman Guest's district. No one's going to beat that.
The guy said he was not a Republican. He said that he was running on a Republican ticket, but he said, I'm a radical conservative. That's what he said. I heard him.
Well, he said, like I said, when you call Benny treasonous, it's not going to go well. You should have attacked him on his spending issues and how he used that power in saying...
Benny was the only one that voted for Mississippi to get the money. And the state of Mississippi is enjoying that money. Ain't that right, Sock?
Yeah, a lot of it.
They enjoying that money. They just opened up a nuclear plant. Some kind of plant last week with some of that money, didn't it?
They
not nuclear,
aluminum plant. Yeah, they working with that money.
Well, no, look, and I'm not saying...
They just give Jackson $36 million of that money.
You don't, like I said, you don't call... I think you lose votes, or at least to swing votes, when you start saying the word treason.
Yeah, that's a bad word.
Things like that. You've got to attack policy and procedure and really get into it. Judicial elections. Bruce Burton, Virginia Carlton. Does Bruce have a chance?
Yeah, I think Bruce wins this one. I think it's.
I like Bruce. Bruce ain't got a chance in here. I wish he did. Bruce ain't got a chance in here.
I think it's time, for the underdog to really get a chance. Mississippi, we got to shake it up. We got to change some things, and we got to start in these elections. We got to elect people that are less traditional.
What is the percentage of turnout today?
I think it's going to be elevated. I think there are a lot of things that have gone on that have got people's attention. I think the water crisis in Jackson in particular, in the fight between the governor and the mayor, and I just think that we have had so much national attention until Mississippi is going to turn out now. We're going to have probably the highest turnout we've seen since Obama.
I say we're around 46%.
We're higher than that. We're 60% this time.
No, there's no presidential campaign.
National attention.
46. What's your prediction?
On what now? On that Virginia?
Turnout.
On the turnout, I'm looking at the 50 mark, 49, 51.
Historically.
Not much more. Mississippi just...
We're lazy. We're lazy and we're dumb and we accept it. You can say it.
Well, let me say this. Hinds County in the last 10 years have lost 15% of its population.
Okay.
We went from 200,000 a little lower. So, and what I'm trying to say is, in the last mayor election, it was 18,000 votes in the whole city of Jackson. In the last county race, the highest vote getter was Zach Wallace, and I think he accumulated maybe 35,000 votes. So I don't see 35,000 votes being cast in the Hinds County today. So it would kill the state average, with Hinds County being the largest county in the state of Mississippi.
But whether we lose population or not, and let me go ahead and say this: if I get any more mud in my water, they're going to lose one more. Mr. Garrett, you got moving back to you, Virginia Carlton, Bruce.
Well, Bruce is a good guy.
Bruce Burton is his proper name. He's
Bruce is a great guy. Been knowing him many years. But Virginia Carlton's been in that seat, and I saw her at a lot of Jackson State games. I believe she sweat, brother, because she was walking up and down those stands, man. She was walking up and down the stands with her husband, and her husband retired military guy too. Yeah, good family.
They're both old.
Yeah, she come from a good stock, but Bruce is a good guy. But I'm just gonna say this: it's gonna be a good race.
Oh yeah, I do believe Virginia.
But she had worked hard. Now I saw her several Jackson State ball games.
She works very hard.
Yeah, I saw her walking.
She's not completely insane with some of her positions. As a conservative, I get offended by people who are conservative have a bar number, because it costs everybody with a bar number money. And it's infuriating with me when I have to deal with, I'd say about 70% of our bar are idiots.
I got a race I want to ask you about.
Go ahead.
It's good. I got to ask you about it.
We're going to get there.
I got you.
We're going to get there.
Don't let it slip my mind.
The judicial election.
Okay.
We're going to get to the judicial elections, but we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back and hit the judicial elections of Hinds County.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
Do you have something to say? Do you want your voice heard? Join the We Believe Global lineup. Be the star of your own show. For more info, call 800-492-5186, option number 1, or visit online at webelieve.global. Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit webelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
We are back. Brent Hazzard, the Brent Hazzard Show, talking about judicial elections. But I'll defer to Malcolm. Malcolm, you want to ask me about our election?
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. There was a race in Madison County. Matter of fact, it's a chancellor race with Judge Brewer.
Cynthia Brewer,
who's been on the bench for a while.
Ex-city council, city prosecutor of Jackson, and
That's right.
Hines County prosecutor.
Man, you own it.
Yeah.
So she's running against Abby Robertson. What is your predicament on that race?
Abby Robinson might get 10% of the vote. That's going to be a.
I don't believe she'll get 5%.
My understanding is she hasn't raised any money. I don't know Abby. I know of her. I know she does a lot of 1983 actions.
Yeah.
I know she had a little trouble out in Rankin County. I don't know what happened to that. She and Judge Kent McDaniel got into it.
Yeah, that was.
But she declared out there. Judge Brewer has sanctioned. She's one of the few judges she's the only judge in 22 years that sanctioned me. She sanctioned me $150 for being late on some discovery. I tried to explain, and it was involving Judge Odom over in Rankin County. I was trying to explain to both those parties I was going to win the case, and that he was maybe suing the wrong party. We're all fine now, and I didn't take it personally. And then she's ruled against me in some pretty big cases, but Judge Brewer has a fine following. She's always very cordial, ruling against me on a $120 million case still hurts. I'm not going to lie, but she thought she did what thought was best, and she's Judge Brewer. She's a legend out there.
Yeah.
So, you have an opinion on
Well,
that?
I don't know Abby well. I first met her, I guess she was representing Napoleon Edwards, Polo.
I know who that is. I'm surprised that name came out your mouth.
Why is that?
I haven't heard it since he's disappeared from the studio, but that's fine. You got your you're a grown-ass man.
I'm just telling you how I come to know Abby.
Talked to Polo lately?
No, we're talking about Abby.
See,
No, I mean, here we go. Here we go, Brent. You asked a question, and I answered the question.
I was doing my Socrates impression.
No.
I was doing my Socrates impression. Go ahead.
So, I met her then. I saw her and learned that she was, I believe, from Madison County, and she had a command presence, and I think there's got to be some newcomers, and, why not Abby?
I think demographics a problem. I hate to say it, in Mississippi we still race-based voting.
Why you hate to say that?
Because I would like to see people on merit base, but I don't see how we ever get there because we're so stupid and lazy that we can't listen to people and judge them by accomplishments. We're going to go back. I will say this: I would like to think that the individuals are not looking at the race, but they're actually looking at the D or R. But I do believe in a state that doesn't have Obamacare, that doesn't have the hospitals. Now, I know at 75 years old, your lenses are colored, but what I'm saying, shaded. Shaded. Let me correct that. Shaded. And I would be shaded also at 75. But what I'm saying is, it's the same issue we have, or debates we've had on your show about the water issue. I don't believe there are people in Mississippi sitting there saying, I don't want any black people to have drinking water. I think what happens is they're limited in seeing their benefit in providing drinking water to everybody in Jackson, and they're limited, and they're beginning to see it. We're beginning to see the importance of having the Mississippi Supreme Court have running water, the Capitol have running water, that it's wrong that the governor should have a tanker come in and have special privileges. But I don't believe that people are just. Do you disagree? Well, here, let's go to the third party. Do you agree or disagree with that? Do you think there are people in Mississippi in 2022, the majority of us, are sitting there saying, I hate black or white?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do.
And I'm not going to bet a hand.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to counter that, We just got rid of the flag.
I think there are Mississippi State fans sitting there saying, I hate everybody that went to Ole Miss. And I believe there's Ole Miss people.
I'm fine with that.
Hold on.
I'm fine with that. But when I'm saying
and
race,
guess what?
that's at least
I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And then there's some Ole Miss fans saying, I hate Mississippi State. And then there's some at Mississippi State and Ole Miss saying, Deion Sanders had no business at Jackson State.
I don't know if anybody. I have not heard anybody say he has no business.
You ain't heard nobody say none of that. But in their mind, they thinking. You just say they at home thinking it, then he saw.
No, what I'm saying is.
Well,
Go ahead.
You do know that there was a great deal of discussion about the number one player signing with Jackson State.
Yes.
You do know.
Alabama coach
And
went
what I'm
publicly.
saying is but the thing about
See,
it.
he's not swag, so he probably didn't hear about it.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know Travis Hunter. But no, what I'm saying is that had nothing to do with the Mississippi schools. Deion Sanders stole him from Florida State.
Stole him?
Florida State. That's what you call it. You steal them at the signing day. All coaches steal recruits. They commit originally.
You heard about the guy from Texas A&M yesterday?
Who's that?
He a DB. He like one of the top DBs in the country, man. Texas A&M. All of a sudden, it's circulated that he may be finna go to Jackson State, man.
Oh no! And what happens is you get momentum going.
Yeah, momentum,
You get energy, and you get the increase in student body population.
Yeah.
And then you get on ESPN, and I mean, it's just one.
Yeah.
Look, you watch Duke basketball about to crash because they don't have Coach K there anymore.
Yeah.
People forget what happened to Alabama when Saban wasn't there, and they had 4 or 5 coaches where they were going 6-6.
Yes, Gene Stallings.
Yeah,
losing to you.
Stallings won.
Yeah, he lost some too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you. Mark Price never coached. Who are Shula?
Yeah.
Don Shuler's kid. Mike, was it Mike Shula? And but it's a cult of personality.
Oh, yeah.
You get that personality in, and then it loses. But
you know, Nick got the suitcase.
Nick Saban's the baddest thing walking on the planet.
Yeah, he got the suitcase.
But we're getting off the topic. And
You don't want to talk about that. See, I don't want to talk about that side.
Nick Saban is in his contract. He'll be the highest paid coach ever. So
Yeah, but you know the suitcase mean though, right?
Yeah.
What that mean?
Cash.
Yeah. So what do cash make?
NIL, but
What does it turn?
to players.
Yes, right.
But the issue is now that it's NIL. No, Saban's mad that it's all legal. That's what.
Yeah,
Saban's
they mad about
Yeah,
that.
they're mad.
All the white coaches mad about that. The ones losing mad about
Lane
that.
Kiffin ain't mad about it. Lane Kiffin's living the charge.
Let me tell you what Ole Miss is doing right now.
Go ahead.
They taking advantage of it.
Of course, yes.
Mississippi State gonna take advantage of it next year.
No, Mississippi State.
Georgia Tech taking advantage of it.
I don't.
It just take when you plant a tree, it don't come up right then. It take a while for it to start coming up.
No, they got money up. Do you know what? When I say NIL, do you know what we're talking
No,
about?
I have no idea.
NIL is a name, image, likeness. And what's happened was it was supposed to be, I'm a football player at USC. I'll take it out of everybody's school, and Socrates Garrett can hire me to endorse him. It's
That's
been
right.
perverted. Because what it does is us 3 get together and say, Brent, we'll pay you $100,000 to go to USM. And that's not what it's supposed to be. It's actually forming some sort of monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
But certain schools, USC has it, Texas has it. Texas has got to a point, or maybe SMU, everybody on the team was getting $50,000.
Yeah.
They've raised so much money. Everybody on the team. But everybody's like saying, well, it's not fair, or it's going to pervert the system. The starting quarterback of Alabama is making $6 million, and the starting quarterback of New England Patriots, who came from Alabama, is making like $3 this year.
You know who started all this? It started in Jackson, Mississippi. You didn't know that?
Paying players did not start in Jackson,
No,
Mississippi.
the NIL did. Let me tell you what happened.
No, I know exactly what happened.
No, let me.
The case
No.
is Ed O'Brien.
Can I say something? It was a guy played basketball for Miami Hurricanes named Darius Rice. Played at Lanier High School. 6'10". His uncle was Jerry Rice. You know him. He sued the video game, the NCAA game, because his picture was on the cover, and they didn't get paid for being on the video game. So they started this lawsuit a while back. So last year, or maybe year before, it finally was settled. You hear me, Salt? And when it was settled, part of the agreement was that players could do what? Sell jerseys and get paid through NIL. So it was something that had to do with a breach that was met, that they either had to unload a lot of money for these people that been on these video games. And it led to this and led to that. And led to this and led to that. But that's what happened.
You done?
Yeah.
And let me say this, Socrates. Let me say this about Malcolm. Let me give him an 8. Because that's impressive. Now let me show you deep water. Because that's what they call us in the river. That's what they call it.
You funny, man.
No. Let me tell you about deep water. This is deep water. This is what you get here. It's the Ed O'Bannon case that was set in Vegas.
Ed O'Bannon. UCLA. The twin, Charles and Ed O'Bannon.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm done. Right. I gave you your chance.
All right.
There was a gentleman that brought the case named Michael Hausfeld. They went and got Sonny Vicario, who used to be a runner for Adidas and Nike. He's the one who put it together.
Yeah.
The gentleman that actually tried a case was a gentleman named William Isaacson.
I know all of them personally. Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And George Radman, a good friend of mine, president of Nike.
Where's Bill from?
They was up in Portland, Oregon when I met them.
Okay, well.
At Adidas, we used to go to Las Vegas to Adidas camp every year.
Okay.
We used to fly out there and lay up and go to all the basketball camps, and then we'd go to Indianapolis to Nike All-American camp. Now keep talking.
Michael Hausfeld and Bill. Hang on. Let me respond.
Okay.
Michael Hausfeld and Bill Isaacson are from D.C. They're not from Portland or anything. They're
I'm saying where they reside in it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, they reside in D.C. I know this because Hood versus Microsoft, co-counsel in that case was Bill Isaacson.
Okay.
Also, on Hood versus Vitamin, co-counsel case was Bill Isaacson. Also, on the case where Judge Brewer ruled against me and said, well, guilty pleas, co-counsel in that case was Bill Isaacson. On the Blue Cross Blue Shield case, co-counsel in the case itself of $2.8 billion, which I had a small role in, with Bill Isaacson.
Wow.
And do you know whose fantasy football league I'm in right now? And I'm in 6. Bill Isaacson.
Wow.
So I know Bill a little bit.
Well, let me straighten this up on Facebook. Okay. Floyd Lewis said, Chris Williams, you got the fact check, Malcolm. Now, what I was saying, you're right about O'Bannon.
No.
But when it came to the video game,
this was a video game case.
No. Yeah, but I'm saying Darius Rice was one of the ones that filed, one of the first.
He could have been in a group.
Yeah, you can go back and check it.
No. The case,
Hills went through.
Ed was the lead plaintiff.
I got you. Ed played with Titus, the point guard Titus. Yeah.
I'm telling you, and what it all the way went up with, and you're correct. It's gone to it. Now, Bill and I have had debates about the NIL because the NIL case.
How do you feel about the NIL?
It's perverted from what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be opening up advertisement. I was supposed to be able to come here and down in Baton Rouge. Here's the funny thing about it. People forget that college football is really a regional sport. It's not. Alabama's not big in Oregon.
No.
Oregon.
Midwest Michigan is big in Michigan. Ohio State.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wisconsin.
So when you're even talking about big cities, one, you're eliminating, except maybe for L.A., there's no big teams in New York.
No.
Rutgers. There's no big teams really in Miami. You have the Hurricanes, but they're not. The big alumni are the smaller areas like Alabama, Baton Rouge, areas like that. But then you eliminate who wants to advertise. So you're not supposed to pay them to come to school. You're supposed to pay them to advertise. You get 4 wide receivers in LSU on a Lawyer's commercial. So now the Alabama quarterback, he's on the Nissan Heisman House because he won Nissan last year. Mm-hmm. But he's also, and it's the same thing about Sanders here. He's on a barbecue.
Barbecue. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get 2 ballers and put in here.
No one's paying me. No, we don't do free.
No, what I'm saying is we need to get the bottles and we're going to bring some barbecue and we're going to see is it really good on this show.
But
I'm going to bring the meat and then you open the sauce and pour it and say, is it really that good or is it generic?
I'm bad because I'm not a barbecue fan. But what I'm saying is
what's wrong with him, Sock?
When you get into these commercial vendors of a local school, it's car vendors.
Man, let's get back to the judge race.
No, that's what I'm saying though. But you don't.
My son, your son, and Sock's son ain't now one of them gonna carry no football. So let's talk about these damn judges. Talk about this judge. Let's talk about these kids got to go before Adrian Wooten.
My point is this: you don't have an IBM.
That's right.
You get more local, like Socrates Garrett. Are you going to support someone from Alcorn? Or are you going to support an HBCU student?
I'm going to support someone from Alcorn.
Okay. When are we going to do this?
We're going to do that every chance we get. I was enjoying the dialogue between the two of you because, quite frankly, I didn't know anything about what was going on.
They had the right to sell the name and image to be. They have a right to advertise, to be a sponsor. That's all that NIL. Okay. They have a right to endorse things.
Okay, but the athletes are now being paid.
Yes. Well, this is what's happened at Ole Miss, and it's weird. They're asking you for fundraising. This is across the nation. Hey, can you give us $10,000 a year? And you're like, what am I getting? Well, you can eat with them. And you're like, eat with them?
Yeah.
I don't want to eat with them.
Damn, that's an expensive meal.
The player, but it's not for a pro quota. It's not for an ad.
You know what I would like to see, Brent?
What?
I would like to see Richard Schwartz, along with yourself, get the kicker from Jackson State, the white boy.
Why and y'all be the white boy?
Well, he's white. He ain't missed but one kick this whole year. He's good, man.
I say he's money.
Yeah, he's money. What you need to do is make sure y'all bring him on the NIL deal and let him do TV commercial. You know what we do? I got a good idea. We take your head and then he kick your boom, and then Richard throw his hand up.
Why the hell you gotta kick my head? I mean, why do you gotta kick my head?
That's creative.
Sorry, that's a good one, ain't it,
That's a good one.
And then
bad because I got straightened out about Ed O'Brien. Someone's being passive aggressive.
But only thing.
So he want to kick Brett Favre here. That's who he do want to kick.
About it is that it was good.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, what you bring up is this. The problem is, and I won't get into too much detail, but when you're talking about a statewide advertising, if you get a Jackson State player, do you alienate Alcorn? Do you get a Mississippi State player? Do you alienate?
No, hell no. Mississippi State player when they was buying cars, they didn't sit down to Jackson State.
These conversations are going on, and that's why now LSU, because LSU's the university in Louisiana, but that's what's happening. If you go Alabama, do you alienate Auburn?
What about LSU's victory over Alabama?
Dude, that man from Brian Kelly left Notre Dame and said, "Ooh, what I got here."
I mean, LSU making a storm.
Of course.
I believe Ole Miss gonna beat Alabama Saturday.
Hell no. Hell no. Hold
on. If LSU would not have beat Alabama, Ole Miss would have been in a better position. Alabama gonna be crazy Saturday.
I looked at the record today. We've beat Alabama 10 times in our existence of playing them. Okay. I mean, it's just a different level. The problem with LSU and Ole Miss, if you saw it, it was like Jackson Prep playing, Brandon. It just didn't go well. And LSU always has these creatures where you're like, who is that? And they're always 6'4", and they're always 250, and they're faster than anybody on the field.
And they've been out of school for a while.
Or they're like, excuse me, or they're like, you guys are playing well. You guys are playing. Good God.
He's money. He's money.
Exactly. And I mean, those, and Brian Kelly's like, I got a lot of these guys, and this is my worst year.
Wow.
No, I mean, Kelly can coach. You got to give him credit. I didn't know if it was a good hire. People saying Saban's over. And this is what Malcolm and I got in a debate about, and I'll ask you, transitioning here, there's no doubt the phenomenal effect Deion Sanders had on the Jackson State program on the city of Jackson. And, I'm going to be promoting businesses to contribute to keeping Deion here or finding another huge name to replace him, because I hear he's gone to Georgia Tech. The problem is when he gets up there with the Kirby Smarts and the Nick Sabans and
Hugh Freeze.
Brian Freeze.
That's Auburn next coach, man. Keep going.
Probably so.
Yeah. But they like a cheater.
But
Auburn likes a cheater.
Like Hugh Freeze, though.
When he left Ole Miss, what were they on? Probation.
No, they were getting on the secret probation. But like you said, here's the problem with Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze, people forget, everybody remembers the prostitution scandal.
Yeah.
His staff was coming apart because anybody
phone
in
calls
can go about 3-4 years and have a good year. Nick Saban and them boys are sitting there like decade. And I mean, people are talking about Saban, Alabama having a bad year. They might lose 3 games.
Man, let me tell you something, Alabama. Alabama sits back and they reported Freeze.
Yeah.
They went out to Mississippi State.
Of course.
They out to LSU. All Alabama do is people snitch on other SEC schools. They tried to snitch on Jackson State, man.
But that's how everybody does it.
They did it publicly.
Yeah,
that's
how everybody does it.
No.
Yeah.
I never have seen the University of Arkansas Razorback snitch on nobody.
Shoot, dude. Let me go ahead. Tennessee and Alabama were suing each other in court.
Really?
Yeah.
Over players?
90? No, because Phil Fulmer gave a deposition. Oh, it gets so nasty because you're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. But like Cam Newton was supposed to come to Mississippi State.
Got a question.
Go ahead. He went to Auburn.
Who is the richest school in the SEC?
Oh, it's Alabama.
Hell no. Walmart and Jerry Jones are Razorbacks, man. Hold on,
You're
brother.
talking about actually money in the program, or
I'm talking about which school have the
well, you got the Waltons. Like
the Waltons run Fayetteville, Arkansas,
but you
bro.
can't bring African American athletes up to Fayetteville.
Yes, you can.
Or have they done it yet? Because Walmart's been in Fayetteville for a while there. Have they done it yet?
Yeah, I was there.
They've got a few. They're not going to win anything. I mean,
well, they're not going to win nothing, but they let one or two come through.
One or two.
Some good ones been there.
But
now.
I'm just saying that everybody's got money on this level.
Yeah. Well, I know, but I'm saying Arkansas really is. If Arkansas did what they needed to do, they would win all championships.
Texas. Walmart's up there. Texas is.
Gerald Mumford say Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Oh, just Texas is all money.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the judicial race.
Yeah, let's get back to the race. Because, he's not swag.
I'm swag. I can't claim swag after one tailgate. I'm not that big of a whore. That's Socrates Garrett level.
Look out, Brent. Calm down.
I'm just saying. I'm not that big of a whore.
Somebody say Arkansas has Tyson Foods, too.
Yes, but you don't think
the money is in Arkansas.
Dude.
Arkansas really could shut sports down if they wanted to.
No. Texas.
Man, listen, Bud Walton Arena is one of the best, beautiful college arenas in the world.
Okay, let me go ahead and throw this out there. If you're talking about endowment, my understanding is Stanford beats everybody in endowment because Google, Facebook, all those tech geeks or billionaires went to Stanford.
Okay.
And they get out and they just give money away, and they can't get a football team there either because it comes down to this. It's not important to them. I mean, the problem with Walmart, those guys are more important with the Cowboys, with the Broncos.
Yeah.
You know, two Walmart families own the Rams and the Broncos.
Yeah, and they also own by 10 trucking companies.
Well, the Nuggets, they own the Nuggets.
U.S. Express, Covington, they own all that.
That's what I'm saying. When you've got other, and that's why South Florida sucks in football, because when you're in South Florida, hey, there's Fort Lauderdale, there's Beach, there's some young ladies.
Tampa.
And you got things to do. Here, we're going to the game. And I mean, that's it. That's why in Atlanta, Falcons, Braves, you've got other things to do.
Hawks.
Hawks, yes. I mean, here, once again, college football. Judicial elections.
Which race?
Judge Wooten, David Lindsay. Who do you have, and what's the spread?
Well, just going to have to be honest with you. David Lindsay ran a good, clean campaign. I like David. I think he's doing a wonderful job as a district attorney, but I just didn't see the work that was needed of the campaigning publicly that was going to need to be the incumbent. Asia Wooten got experience. She been elected more than once. She worked hard. You ever saw her out knocking on doors?
No, I mean, I saw her today at the store taking a break.
Okay, she shake the trees. When I say shake the bushes, she does what some people hire 10, 12 people to do. And it's just hard to beat an incumbent in the word judge.
Socrates?
Well, I agree. Adrian's got name identity. She's got the experience. She came from a power law firm in terms of the Blackman law firm. She went through the House of Representatives. She's solid. Yeah. And she's going to be very, very difficult to beat.
I know both of them. Both of them are, I went to law school with both of them. Like I said Judge Wooten and her husband today at CHAR. The thing what people don't understand, and I think some of these people have made the mistake, it comes down to personality. And Judge Wooten was on my show last week.
I heard.
And she just knows the game, and she's a politician. A lot of these people running for judges are good lawyers and would be good judges, but they're not good politicians.
Yeah, and you have to run. It's
Judge
a political
Wooten
position.
Is a good politician.
So who do you think will win it?
I'm going to have to, right now, I'll probably have to lean a little bit toward Judge Wooten because of all the factors you
But you ain't got long because the poll will be closed now.
Well,
right now.
The issue there is Judge Wooten is, while she's a politician, as we all know with Judge Wooten, she's going to pick a stand. And while I think she did the right thing with the officer, Fox, I think, there's some people who resent her for that.
What did she do?
She sentenced him. She let it go to trial. The other two was dismissed by Judge Peterson on a motion to dismiss, and she dismissed it immediately. Judge Wooten drew a weird snafu, in my opinion, usually on something like that, all three officers would be.
Yeah, Kingfish tried to say that too.
Yeah.
That he never saw it too. But I'm gonna say this:
what happens is
that case ain't got a damn thing to do with this election. The people vote, and do you know that 80% of the people don't give a damn about what somebody doing in the courtrooms or what they doing downtown in the board of supervisors meeting? People go by the popular name that they know and just keep them in office. That's normally how I go here.
I can't.
Do you agree with that?
No,
how you think Tate Reeves gonna win? People gonna say, "Oh,
$5
that's
million.
Tate Reeves."
No,
he got signs everywhere.
Haley Barbour.
Well, same thing.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
I thought Tate was in trouble.
No, Tate is.
He have an opponent. I heard big Democrat coming out.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I heard it.
Tate is in trouble as much as you can be in trouble for an incumbent with $5 million and Haley Barbour behind you. But I heard, and you would know this, and I'm not saying this in any derogatory
Must be a
sense.
black candidate or something.
No.
White guy.
I heard Haley Barbour, the Barbers and Tate Reeves have gone their separate ways. Have you heard that? Or there was a huge argument. There was a huge argument.
I heard that.
Okay.
I heard that he and Austin or Henry.
Austin and Henry have gone their separate ways.
Yeah,
But you know, when you in there though, it's hard to move you.
$5 million.
Yeah.
If anybody,
I heard that Haley Barbour wanted Shad White to run. Did you hear that?
Shad White is a powerhouse in my opinion.
Well, I don't think he ready to move up the governor. No.
I'd like to see Shad move into the AG's office for a few years, and I'd like to see Shad in DC.
Somebody say that Andy Gibson, Chris Williams said Andy Gibson can beat Tater Tot in a primary if he decides to run.
I don't.
He's a preacher, man. Don't hate the preacher. Andy Gibson is a pastor.
He brought water. So
He's been impressive with this. He's been impressive with the
flea market. The flea market is great.
Fairgrounds and water. He's been impressive.
Yeah.
My problem with Andy Gibson, I'll tell you this, and he knows this, and you and I have talked about this privately. Anybody who grown ass man starts quoting Leviticus to me without quoting the whole chapter, I got a problem.
But can I say something? Sock.
Yeah.
He loved David Archie. Every time he see me, he said, "How's my supervisor, David L. Archie, doing?" He had that big cowboy hat.
He's a politician.
He's a damn good politician.
Now, let me go ahead and say that. I hate anybody who wears a cowboy hat.
Oh, man.
That's just a personal issue.
I'm wearing a damn cowboy hat next week, Sock.
And I hate Malcolm Johnson. Nothing's changed. Here's the irony. The guy who used to call me Super Talk Boy is wearing the cowboy hat, talking fondly of Republicans. But no, okay. Go to you, Socrates.
Go ahead.
Judge Green, whether you liked or another female judge in Hinds County who didn't give it. My whole point about Judge Wood, let me figure this. Whatever she ruled on Officer Fox,
it's not going to change the outcome.
It took courage. Because I mean, she knew what was politically correct. Yeah. And she decided, I'm going to do what I think is right.
Okay.
And to me, that situation, it's the same thing with some of these people. Like whether we like Michael Guest or not, everybody knew if you're a Republican from Rankin County and you vote to indict or investigate Trump, it's going to cost you vote.
Yeah, but look, do you think that would be overturned by Virginia Carlton it would be interesting. Court of Appeals. I believe they probably wait after the election. Then they're gonna do what they got to do.
I think they are.
You know that's how I go, don't it?
Yeah.
I don't let a damn fool get out in front of a train.
Look. and
what you think, Si?
Look, I've had conversations.
Happy birthday, Bo Brown.
I've had conversations with people that said Justice Kitchens. I thought he got hammered by dissent on a pedophile in Rankin County.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was the only vote. And as a judge, if you two are coming with me and I can overturn it, okay. Yeah. But I'm not going to hang out there. And there's good crimes and bad crimes.
Yeah, that was Dorothy Benford. She talked about that on every radio show in town. You remember that, Sock?
Oh, God. She was a warrior, man.
Judge Green, you have Deborah Gibbs, who's a favorite, Trent Walker, who's been around for everybody. Everybody loves Trent.
26 years.
Wendy Wilson White, ex-city prosecutor of Jackson, great litigator, and is currently an ADA, assistant district attorney. And then you have Bryant Guy, who, depending on he's been around he's a great guy. He's been practicing.
Williams and Davis law firm.
But he might have been endorsed or might have been.
No, I say he worked there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about he might have been handpicked by.
I heard these people for 8 months talk about what they done. Yeah. Trent said he had 26 years of experience. Yeah. When the wife says she's been a prosecutor since day one.
Yeah.
Buddy Guy, not Buddy Guy, Brian Guy talks about he started in youth court. He worked in all of the different courts
with Judge Green,
and he clerked with Judge Green for several years. So I've heard those spiels so much. I know him by heart, man.
Who's coming out of that election?
Well, it's a tough one. It really is. I think that, of course, Deborah Gibbs, as you said, is the favorite in that race. But I think it'll be a runoff, and I think that second seat right now is really up in the air. I think Wendy Wilson White has done an excellent job.
Man, she worked her butt off, brother.
She has worked, and her commercials and her TV commercials are excellent. I thought Trent
worked hard.
Heard his campaign. I didn't see enough commercials for him. I didn't see any TV presence.
He was on TikTok. His wife.
TikTok? That ain't TV, man.
I'm telling you, though. But
Brent, I give you a drug test, man.
Well, I'm telling you right now. There's a
TikTok. Who in the hell take a TikTok judge seriously, man?
Laugh about that. Kingfish right now has a TikTok about a trooper that's going around revolutionizing. Everybody's talking about it.
TikTok?
TikTok.
Man, what about the 85 and 75-year-old women that don't have access to TikTok? They watch the 10 o'clock news, man.
You want to talk about 8 tracks when we're here, too?
Go ahead,
I'm just asking.
Man, you're not swag, brother. You're not swag.
I think it's better to...
Who gets in the runoff?
That's the real question.
That's the real question.
That's the real question now.
Now, let me say this now. Go ahead, son.
No, go ahead.
You interrupted him.
I wanted to interrupt. I interrupted him seriously on this.
Go ahead.
That New Hope and that Green Elementary, whoever take those 2 boxes and Presidential Hills, there ain't going to be no runoff now.
Oh, there's going to be a runoff for 4 people.
Man, Jerry Young's church, New Hope, going to have 1,000 voters. Am I right, Sock?
They're powerful out there.
They stick the course out there.
Are we betting lunch? My bet is we're going to bet lunch.
I think there'll be a runoff.
I can see it being one, but what I'm saying is whoever get those 2 boxes is over. It's 3 boxes you want in that district. It's Green Elementary, 3,000 votes. New Hope, 3,000 votes. And Presidential Hills, they're going to give you 750 votes.
Here's my prediction.
You hear me? I wouldn't even go to no other district.
Here's my prediction.
Look at Sock laughing.
Deborah Gibbs
I just got a text from...
somebody.
Well, it was from Robert Gibbs' camp, to vote for Deborah.
Yeah.
But it came from Tyrone Lewis.
Oh.
So they're working hard out there.
They're working very hard.
They're connecting the dots.
And I saw him at the funeral Saturday, too, on Reverend Barry Taylor, Sheriff Lewis,
Tyrone Lewis has always been a nice guy.
He was a great guy, but I really thought that he would have won the council seat for Ward 2.
That is kind of weird.
See, he went up against them 3 boxes. See, that's what I'm saying, that New Hope box and that Green box.
Well, I tell you what, it proved the point because she whipped him handedly.
And New Hope.
Yeah.
And then Green give her a lot of votes and the race over. Listen to me, brother.
Okay, but here's my prediction. Gibbs wins it. The initial election.
She leads it.
She leads it. She get 40% of the ticket.
She loses the runoff. I think the other 2 that do not make the runoff consolidate behind number 2.
Brent,
and
what did I just tell you?
I'm telling you she loses.
If you want to know,
my prediction is she loses the runoff.
New Hope Church and
I heard you.
Green Elementary.
I heard you.
It's 2,000 votes.
I heard you.
Where's Reverend Moore? He's got an influence.
That's Lakeover. That's Jerry Young's church. They voted at New Hope.
Okay, no, I'm talking about Reverend Stronger Hope or something.
Yeah, that's New Hope. That's
New Hope.
Next to Callaway, there's a church right there, a little small Presbyterian church.
Yeah.
They votes in there, and they have 800-900 votes.
We're running out of time. I want to hit this one last.
We can get some more. We got the boss with us
Damon
today.
Stevenson. We've got Damon Stevenson. We've got Demetrius Hodges, and we've got Marvin Sanders, Ms. Sanders.
Gaylor Sanders.
Yes. Who talking about replacing Judge Owens? Socrates?
Yeah. Well, I think that Attorney Hodges has really demonstrated that she's got the wherewithal to grasp the gravity of the situation in Jackson, and she's got the passion based upon the fact that she was a foster child and that she now has foster children of her own, and she's an excellent attorney. I think that she leads the ticket.
Malcolm?
Huh? Oh. Well, I'm going to have to go with Damon Stevenson. that Stevenson group. He's been out here giving a lot for the last 10, 15 years in the community. Byron, he was volunteer of the year. He was selected to be a judge in Byron by Richard White, one of the Republicans in the state of Mississippi, old conservative Republican guy, and to come out and pick Damon to be one of the judges in the city of Byron. And then I'm going to say that it'll be a runoff in that race.
Oh, I think
it'll be a runoff in that race there.
I would disagree on that. I think you get a winner.
Damon is a solid guy, though, brother.
Damon's fine.
I never heard his pants down around in the community. I heard him being a good father and a good husband. Good church member.
This is the problem when I know these people like I do.
He remind me of Kenny Lewis a lot. Good solid guy.
I mean, Damon's great. Demetrius is great.
Yeah.
I don't know Miss Sanders.
And they ran a clean race too. I heard no mudslinging in that race now.
I mean, in my opinion, Judge Wooten is an excellent attorney. David Lindsay is an excellent attorney. Wendy Wilson White's an excellent attorney. Trent Walker's an excellent attorney. Bryant Guy's an excellent attorney. And Damon Stevenson and Demetrius Hodge. I just don't know the others, so I can't comment one way or another. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's what hurts you. I would like to see them all find it. But I'm gonna edge Demetrius a little bit. But it's gonna be interesting because you're gonna have the Byron.
But I'm gonna say this though, Gayla is the prettiest. Gayla is the prettiest judge in that race though.
I'm not commenting.
Look at Sock. I'm messing with Sock. She's a beautiful person, though.
Marvin.
Yeah, she's a beautiful. Hey, don't nobody want to see, do you, Sock?
Anyway, we're going to end on that.
We having fun, Brent. Yeah. Brent, you're not swag, man.
Once again.
Sock, let me tell you. Hold on, Sock. We went to the Jackson State game 3 weeks ago to the tailgate.
You took Brent with you?
And Brent went. And, brother, let me tell you something, brother. I say, Brent, you can't be eating out these people food. You don't know these people. Brent had a left hand in somebody barbecue and his right hand in somebody chicken. Did you have a good time, Brent?
No, I mean, look, as much as I
you ain't never going back.
As much as he won't shut up on the show. Malcolm Johnson, one, is the hardest working man out there, but he treats you like a king. If you ever go anywhere, well, Malcolm remembers your name and look, we all know people that you get to a certain crowd or you get to,
they turn on you.
Well, they just, hey, and you're like, hey, I don't know anybody else here. Malcolm is like, Malcolm's got some Greenville in him. Well, you'd be like, man, pull up a plate. Man, sit down. Stay a while. And no, I'm shocked at how many people don't do that. But I just thought I can't invite y'all to someone that's invited me. But if I get invited and us three sitting here, we all comment. That's the way
that's where I roll, bro.
You don't know about that.
Let me say this too. There was a fire set, an arsonist that set fire to Greater Bethlehem Temple, the church by Bank Plus over by Jackson State. I think he burnt down a gas station. But this young man was apprehended by the Hinds County Sheriff Department, and I want to send a big thank you to the Sheriff Department for getting this young man off the street. I think he was apprehended in Terry, Mississippi with a gun on him. I heard he had a shotgun on him when they got him. And then we also had someone to escape today, too, from the Raymond jail. So if you see that guy and he has not been caught, please call the local Sheriff Department because he could be like Brent, armed, crazy, and dangerous. See you next week, Brent.
Thank you for listening. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.